Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is July 29th, 2025, and Barcelona have confirmed another new signing. Also, Araujo could be open to leaving during this summer transfer market. And finally, it's been revealed the contract that Barcelona would like to offer Frenkie de Jong. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. I'll begin this video with the news that the new permanent pitch at the Spotify Camp Nou is officially being installed. Now, as I reported previously, I told you that the previous pitch that had been installed at the Camp Nou was not the final one. It was just a temporary one to kind of get the ground, the dirt, the irrigation system all set up. That pitch was, of course, ripped out. I think it was last week or the week before. And now the final pitch is now being officially installed at the Camp Nou, a day after, of course, Barcelona held all those tests on all the systems at the Camp Nou to see whether they're working and whether they comply with local rules, something I talked about in yesterday's video. Now, of course, all of this is part of the preparations as Barcelona prepared to return to the Camp Nou by the September 14th weekend, which will be the fourth fixture of La Liga against Valencia, the first official home fixture for Barcelona. Right now, it's not looking like we could be meeting that goal, but hopefully we will, because again, if we don't, that would mean financial trouble for Barcelona. Now, on to the next bit of news, because ladies and gentlemen, it's reported that the relationship right now between Barcelona and Jean Virgili is not a good one, and that's because, as you know by now, after Jean Virgili was called up to the preseason training, Hansi Flick decided that while Virgili was not yet ready for the first team, and of course with the arrival of Rooney Bargi and of Marcus Rashford, Hansi Flick decided to send Jean Virgili back down to Barca Athletic, and it seems like this has not sat well with the player, because his goal was to make it to the first team during this season, and it's reported that he is now requesting or demanding that he play with the first team, because he feels like, playing with Barca Athletic in 4th division is, a little bit, I guess, beneath him, or he has outgrown it, however you want to put it. Now, it's reported that Barcelona are not too happy with this because, of course, like all the youngsters in the academy, Barcelona have a specific plan for each player on how to make it to the first team. And Barcelona have now communicated to Jean Virgili and any other one in the academy, if you don't want to follow the plan, if you want to skip the plan and just think you can make it to the first team, then there is the door. Get an offer and go play somewhere else, because Barcelona will not tolerate that anymore. And I think that that is the right decision to do, because, like I've said, we have the best academy in the world, and this academy knows how to build players from their kids all the way up to the first team, so they know best. And if you don't want to follow their plan, well, there's a door. You could go somewhere else. After all, even Lionel Messi, the greatest player in the history of football, had to follow that plan and had to work his way up through the categories until making it to the first team. So if you can't follow that plan that Messi followed, well, there is the door. Now, on to the next bit of news, because, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona have confirmed our newest signing, and it's someone I told you before, or I talked about before in previous videos, that Barcelona were set to sign, and now Barcelona have officially confirmed it through their social media accounts, and it's no other than Lovro Chelfi, the 18-year-old attacking midfielder out of NK Kustosija. He's Croatian. He is a very promising midfielder right now in Croatian football. Barcelona have decided to sign him for the Juvenil A, or the under-19 youth team, where Barcelona have paid 500,000 euros for 50% of the rights of the player. And of course, they do have an option to purchase the rest in the future. And if they do, this operation could end up costing a total of 2 million euros for this promising midfielder out of Croatia. And as I've said many times before, these are the kind of operations that Barcelona should be doing, which is, signing young, promising players for very little. Because if they work out, amazing, you just hit the jackpot. You sign, a rising star for nothing. And if they don't work out, who cares? You're only out, in this case, 500,000 euros versus being out 130 million for Griezmann or Dembele or Coutinho or all those crazy signings. Now, on to that next bit of news, because right now, Ronald Araujo's circle or entourage are leaking to the press that if the player feels that his role is diminished and that he will not be getting more minutes or a starting role during the upcoming season, that the player will be open to leaving despite recently renewing his contract until 2031. Now, as you know by now, Flick, of course, has chosen Pau Cubarsí and Iñigo Martinez ahead of Ronald Araujo. Now, last season, it was a weird season for Araujo where he spent half of it injured. The other half was kind of like trying to get back into competitive rhythm, but it was difficult because he wasn't getting minutes. So now Araujo started the preseason with the mindset that he was going to work hard, train hard, and trying to earn his spot back on the first team. But now his entourage leaking that, if the player feels like he's not going to be getting that important or primary role in the first team, he could be open to leaving during this summer. Because, of course, the summer transfer market will actually stay open past the beginning of La Liga season, so he could still leave if he doesn't get, a primary role. It's like, oh, no, Araujo, don't do that, please, stay, oh, no. Anyways, on to the next bit of news, because it's been revealed what kind of contract Barcelona would like to give Frenkie de Jong once his whole Asian situation is fixed. Now, as you know by now, Frenkie de Jong has decided to fire his agent, Ali Dursun, because it's reported that it was Ali Dursun who was putting roadblocks in the contract renewal of Frenkie. So Frenkie de Jong hired a lawyer in order to begin the whole separation process between him and his agent. And then he called Barcelona and said, hey, I do want to renew. I'm very interested in extending my contract past its expiration of 2026. But of course, right now, I don't have an agent. So for now, negotiations have been stalled as Frenkie de Jong fixes his whole agent situation. But now it's been revealed what kind of contract Barcelona would like to offer Frenkie once he does get a new agent and once negotiations resume. Now, it's been revealed that Barcelona want to extend Frenkie de Jong for 2 more years past the expiration date. So his contract expires in 2026. They want to extend it until 2028. So 2 more years on the contract, or 3 more years total from now. And it's reported that there will be, some clauses in the contract that based on the kind of minutes Frenkie de Jong would have the final season, they might extend it for another season. For example, 2027-2028 season comes, Frenkie de Jong is still, a starter, so very important player, getting plenty of minutes. Then there's always the option of extending it until 2029. Of course, this contract will also include a restructuring of Frenkie de Jong's salary because he has the highest salary which Barcelona right now cannot afford. We don't know the exact numbers right now, but of course we do know that once that contract goes into effect, it will go a long way in helping Barcelona with its financial fair play. Now, we'll end today's video with this little bit of news, which is not really related to Barcelona, but it is football related, so I did want to mention it. But Joao Felix has now decided to, or has now signed with the Saudi club Al Nassr. And I bring this up because what a shame, what a shame, what a waste of talent. I mean, this guy really looked like he was going to be, one of the best players in the world. And, for whatever reason or the other, whether it's lack of discipline or commitment or focus or whatever it may be, maybe ego, maybe he thought he was too good to try, but he pretty much, after leaving Benfica, he went flopping from club to club. He failed at Atletico Madrid, failed at Chelsea, failed at Barca, failed at Chelsea again, failed at AC Milan, and now at a young age of, how old is he, 24, 25, he's going to Saudi. I mean, talk about wasted talent. Anyways, that is all for this video. I did upload another video a few moments ago. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Visca Barça.